Well, this is the Nailsin Ratings, and time to look at another episode of Doctor Who. This one was called the Tsuranga Conundrum. Yeah. Well, the Doctor and her friends are pillaging or rummaging through a space junkyard, and they come across this mine, and it goes off, and then they wake up in this space hospital, but it's not a space hospital, it's a space hospital ship. So the TARDIS has been left behind on the space junkyard. This one was not entirely bad. Like the spider one before, I thought, well, this had some promise to it, and then it went south very quickly, and then ended up with an idiot rap song saving the day. Jeez. And couldn't hurt the spiders, but you could lock them in a room and let them starve to death, I guess. Anyway, so here we are in space, and this is kind of like one of the more classic type scenarios for a Doctor Who, whether it's the space station in trouble or a ship in trouble. And so here was a ship in trouble, and you still have your little bit of feminism and misandry thrown around, somewhat slightly and somewhat just ridiculously so. There's a general on board, and she's a woman, and she's not just a female general, she's the greatest female general ever. Oh, she's so wonderful. The Doctor realizes who she is because she's so famous in outer space and stuff, and she just falls all over herself, kissing butt for this general. Which is just, look, you've got your female general, fine, whatever, move on, but no, they got to keep doing this. And it's this strange thing. It's almost as if the Doctor Who crew are not exactly accepting their own premises of the point for these characters. The characters aren't just characters in a story. They have to be there as role models and figures to educate the idiot masses watching their show, yes. So that sort of thing. So it takes you out of the show. The other, I guess, feminist element is that there's a man who's pregnant on the show. Well, it's science fiction, and it's explained that his species, the males give birth to males and the females give birth to females. So, okay, well, he's an alien. He looks like an ordinary guy you'd see, but no, he's an alien, so, they didn't give him any special makeup or anything. When the actual delivery happens, it had to be a C-section, unless I missed something. So that's how it's always been. I mean, how does this species develop that before they develop technology and tools to be able to form C-sections? I mean, did the men just give birth and die as the baby, tears its way out? I don't know. That's a problem. Didn't think that through. No, you could have just said he's an alien, and it works for them. We don't really need to know his entire anatomy. But it was done mostly for laughs here, and especially with the ship is under siege from a monster, and it's a little monster, an almost cute monster, but it eats all kinds of inorganic things, and it takes the Doctor a while to figure out that it does this for the purposes of the energy involved, not just so much the objects themselves, which again, they didn't think this through. It kind of makes the Doctor seem like an idiot, and she makes a big deal about it when she finally dawns on her what the creature's after, but well, whatever. The pregnant man, these elements here, and even the funny little creature, sort of reminded me of Douglas Adams, and Douglas Adams, of course, could pull this off. Chibnall is no Douglas Adams. Not even close. It doesn't really, but there's a few little chuckles here and there for this stuff, but you gotta wonder, was it supposed to be some sort of message? I don't know. There's no gender, really. If there was no gender, then what's the point of this female Doctor then, huh? Yeah. So who knows, but there it is. I guess it works for the joke, but there again, they don't really explain the whole species and their ability to give birth and all that. So there's a severe lack of science fiction ability in these scripts here. So not too impressed with that. But this one, well, it had less bad in it. So there was no corporate mastermind making everything bad. There was no pseudo Trump. There was no white male to be a foil, to be the idiot, and he's got to be lectured and all that sort of thing. There was just the white male gave birth, so I guess that was it. I don't know. The rest of it, it starts off. There's some scenes which seem to go somewhere some sort of interest, where the doctor is talking to the chief doctor on the ship, and there seems to be some dialogue between them. And where's this going? And then he's dead. So it's like someone who might have almost been interesting is gone. So. And I don't know what that, and it's like, the doctor kept warning him not to get in or to open the escape pod because the creature was in it and all this sort of stuff. And he doesn't listen to her, and oh boy, that cost him his life. But then before he goes, he contacts his female assistant and says, "You can do this. You can do my job," and all that was, that kind of counters whatever it was. A lot of it's not very well thought out. There's another scene where the pregnant man is saying he's going to give the child up because he's not ready to be a father, and you can see it on Ryan's face. And the scene's almost perfect at that point, because Ryan's father's not in his life, and he pretty much gave him up, and he ended up having to be raised by his grandma, and. So right in his face, he performs this well, and it's like, this is hitting home. Then they have to spell it out in the next scene. Now, to be fair, the conversation goes into, how did his mother die? And you learn that she died of a heart attack when he was 13, this sort of thing. So Ryan's had it pretty tough, and you pretty much already know that, but the detail that his mother died in that manner, there you have that. So, but and that's about it. The rest of it, Graham and Ryan, these two actors, are basically have the burden of carrying the show, and more or less the better scenes and lines are with them, and when they're interacting with other characters. And so for the comedic bit of the pregnant man, those two, and that's what they had to perform, and they did. And the whole point of it was Ryan trying to convince this guy to keep the baby, which I'm assuming he names the. There's a joke in there about the name, but it makes sense, and it fills out Ryan's story, and good enough. I mean, whether they introduce Ryan's father or not, it really doesn't matter. The story is Ryan, and you see his character develop in that matter. So that was good and all, and the banter between him and Graham works and all that. Poor Yaz is just still there. She had an opportunity in the last episode, but they kind of blew it. And Yaz and this cheap Mr. Data are used to fight off the little creature and try to divert it to where it goes into the doctor's trap later on. The creature, they use, for all intents and purposes, ray guns. I thought those were bad. Wouldn't the doctor have to lecture them? And no, they used ray guns. I don't care what you want to call it. Those were guns. Now, the creature is virtually indestructible, but they needed to trick it. And this time, instead of trapping it in a trap and leaving it there to starve to death like the spiders that the doctor loved so much and even talked to as if they could understand her, this time the creature who can survive in outer space is simply jettisoned out of the ship. So after it consumes an explosive that was on the ship. So there you go. I hate to see what this creature's litter box looks like, but they didn't go into that detail. And there they have the happy birth, and then some sort of funeral for the great general who dies guiding the ship, and she has a heart condition, so she passed away. And so then they had the funeral led by the android, and the doctor knew the line, so it's some well-known ritual for them, what have you. And then the end. They didn't get the TARDIS back. Maybe the TARDIS will remain missing yet again, and then the Doctor will eventually find it wherever they go. Since it's in that junkyard, she was worried, someone's going to salvage the TARDIS and sell it off or something. How they would get into it, I don't know. But Or they'll just start off the next episode and she will just happen to have found it, and they'll throw in a line, boy, it's a good thing we got that, but we had to sell Graham's jacket or belt or something. But it looks like the previews they'll go into the past of India and Pakistan, I suppose, and some historical story there. So we'll see how that turns out. But this one, it just wasn't horrible, you know. But it's still the laziness of the scripts, and Jodie. Yeah, I mean, maybe if she had better writers, but boy, that's not going to happen. So she's not David Tennant. She's certainly not Tom Baker. Not even Matt Smith. She can't carry the show, and it's. So I don't know if the scripts were better, would it seem okay and all that, but I don't know. Boy, at times she even gets to be annoying. But it is what it is. And there was this thing, she kept grabbing her side. The companions didn't seem to be hurt or anything. So there's something going on there. I thought they were going to reveal that she was pregnant too. Maybe they will. I don't know. So I'm guessing that'll carry on into the next episode or not. It's not the first time this new Who stuff has teased something and then never pays off. So we'll see. But it looks like, there's something off and who knows what. But, stay tuned. So this one gets 2 out of 5 stars. So that's 2 out of 5 stars for Doctor Who. In the meantime, their latest news for Doctor Who, no Christmas special. They're not going to do, this will be the first time they haven't done one since the series began, again, the reboot of the series in 2005. And so instead they will do a New Year's Day special. And then that'll be the only Doctor Who of 2019. Yes, they've decided not to do another series until 2020, I guess. What's going on? Yeah. And the reason for not doing the Christmas special, and I'm not kidding, they said, we just don't have any ideas. Well, hey, I admire the honesty. I truly do. Yeah, no ideas, because they figured, they've done all the possible Christmas stories. You do a Doctor Who story that just happens to be taking place during Christmas. That's all you got to do. There's Christmas trees around and that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be Santa Claus. It doesn't have to involve elves. I doubt that they would ever do a story where they go back in time and witness the birth of Jesus. I mean, I'd rather they didn't, because they'll screw that up. So, but all you got to do is just some adventure, and there's Christmas shopping going on and that sort of thing. How hard is that? But well, at least you were honest, because you don't have any ideas, period. Oh, jeez. So, this one I guess this one is the best of the season. And like the first one, I gave high marks just because it didn't piss me off as much as I thought it would. But I'm thinking this one's clearly better than that one. That stupid evil tooth fairy, that was awful. So, I guess I'll come back to this at the end of the series and rank what was the best. But right now, this one is better than the other ones. So, but just kind of by dumb luck, probably. So, anyway, thank you for watching and listening. Say, while you're here, why not like and subscribe? And, of course, check out that link description below. That'll lead you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you.